Hey everybody, how you guys doing? This is Theo from Elite Firearms Academy. Just I want to tell you guys about an experience I had today. I was out handing out flyers and brochures for the business, and trying to sell the product that I have. And well, at the end of the day, I handed out probably about 50 brochures. Done a lot of walking. Got a little sweaty. Trying to promote the business. I want everybody to go check out my website. It's the elitefirearmsacademy.com. And well, what happened is I was in the parking lot at, I'm not gonna say what business it was, but it was a major grocery store, kind of like big box store. So I handed out probably maybe about, I would probably say 50 to 60 brochures, just talking to people, getting to know people, because I love doing that. I love being out there, and I love communicating and just meeting people, and just trying to figure out where everybody's at, how they feel about personal safety, how they feel about family safety and home safety. So real quick, I see this lady sitting in her car holding a baby. And normally what I do is that I'll wave at somebody and get their attention because I want to make eye contact. I don't want to just walk up to somebody's car and surprise them, because I don't want to seem like I'm a homeless person, or somebody that's trying to beg for something. And so I walked to this lady's car, and she rolls her window down, which she rolls it down like a little bit. And I understand that, because that is, that's a good safety protocol to, because she doesn't know me. I don't, and like I said, she's got a baby in her arms. So what happens is that, I do my spiel that I give to everybody. The information I say, I introduce myself. My name is Theo Clark. I'm a firearm instructor here in Riverside County. I'm, certified through the DOJ, USCCA, and the NRA. And what I do is I teach people about basic firearm safety. And then I also certify people to get their CCWs and CCW renewals. So she didn't really say anything. So I was like, would that be something that you would be interested in? And then she said, how do you know I don't already have a firearm? And I said, well, I don't, because I don't know you. And that's pretty much my introduction to let you know what I do for a living and what I do for my business. And then she was like, and it went left. I mean, completely left. She started talking to me like, she was like, well, how do you know I don't already have a firearm? I said, well, ma'am, I don't. I said, but what I do. And then she was like, well, I don't want to have no firearm because I don't want these such and such people out here that I have to deal with on a day-to-day basis for me to have a firearm. And I was like, well, that's okay. I said, but that's, for me personally, I don't teach that type of attitude. Attitude is everything when you are a licensed CCW carrier, is because I teach that you have to walk away from confrontations. Even if you have a firearm, you always have to use the avenue of escape to get away. And using your firearm should be your last resort. Should be your last resort before you do anything. There is no such thing as self-defense and being in a confrontation. There's no such thing. If you're in a confrontation with somebody and you have the opportunity to walk away, walk away. So anyway, well, she started spewing about, I'm going to say Caucasian people. And I was like, well, where did that come from? And then she proceeded to call me I don't even know how to say this. She proceeded to call me a N-word, Caucasian house N-word. Okay? And I was like, where did that come from? And she was not just talking to me. she was screaming in the parking lot while she was in the car holding a baby, a little baby, like a little baby. And she was screaming at me and cursing me out. And I'm like, okay. So I said, okay, ma'am, if I done something to offend you, I apologize, and I'm sorry. And then she continued to call me and berate me out of my name. I mean, she called me everything except a son of my mother. Okay? And I was like, what the is going on? I mean, and we're in a parking lot with a whole bunch of people, right? And she's screaming at the top of her lungs. And she's like, get the F away from my car. Get the F away from my car. You such and such and such and such. Oh, you ain't nothing but a blah, 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 N-word and this and that. And I was like, wow. And I'm assuming that there was a young lady that was putting the groceries into the back of her car, that maybe she might have been the mother of that baby. So she comes around the car and she's like, hey, look, just leave, because you're just upsetting her. Just leave. And I'm like, okay, I didn't say or do anything, but I can look in the young lady's eyes that this is not the first time. Okay? And it just surprised me, because everybody that I met today, that I handed out my brochures, that I gave my information to, I want to just tell you guys, if you're checking out my Instagram or you're checking out my Facebook, I want to tell you guys, I thank you for your time. You didn't have to talk to me. You didn't even have to accept my brochures. You didn't even have to accept my my information. You could have told me to, keep it moving. I'm not interested. And I really thank the people that, for me, even though we're going through all of these tough times with the price of everything and the price of groceries, the price of gas, that we're still compassionate to other people. I don't dress like like I own a business. I don't dress like that. I have work boots on. I might have some khaki shorts on. I might look a little like maybe a little homeless, maybe. Not so much. But when I meet someone, the first thing that I do is I extend my hand out. And if they don't want to shake my hand, that's fine. I don't get offended by that. I reach my hand out, especially if it's men. I'll reach my hand out. I'll introduce myself. I'll say, hey, how you doing, brother? How you doing? My name's Theo. I'm a firearm instructor here in Riverside. Have you ever thought about getting your CCW so you can protect your family? Da 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 da. And I give them the whole spiel. And if they're not interested, I keep it moving. I'm not like, oh man, come on, you gotta, hey, look, I'm not, the one thing I can say that I am honestly thankful for is that I am not chasing money. Okay? I'm not chasing money. And I'm thankful for that. Okay? So, but what I do is that what I want to do is I want to build a community to where all of us that are firearm licensed carrier, that we know one another. That if a situation happens, like the situation that happened down in San Diego, that we can protect each other, we can come together, and we can form an alliance. Not competition, because other instructors out there, I want them to also let's build a community to where we are all safe, to where we drive the wolves back into the woods and protect the sheep, because we are the sheepdogs. Because we made the choice to carry, to get licensed, to do all that, to spend the money, to be able to protect ourselves and protect our family. Let's drive the wolves back into the woods and protect the sheep. Now, a lot of people might see this and they say, well, I'm not ready. I'm just not. Well, I can tell you this right now. The price of guns are not going down. They're going up. And the taxes on buying those guns are going up. So the longer you wait, the more you're going to have to spend. And the prices for instructors is going up, because they see that there is a need for people. They say from this month, 2026 to 2027, that there will be 90,000 in Riverside alone, 90,000 people applying to get their CCW. Now, why do you think that is? It's because people can see what's going on. They can see that prices are going up. People are going to start getting desperate. Now, I'm not saying this to scare anybody, because I don't want you to be afraid. I would never sell a gun to somebody that's afraid. I'm not sell a gun. I'm sorry. I would never give anybody a CCW that's afraid, because that's dangerous. That's a dangerous mix. I would never give somebody a CCW that has trauma. You know what? And for me, I understand trauma, and I understand that, you know, if you're afraid and you have a firearm, that you could possibly hurt somebody or hurt yourself. I teach solid mind, confidence, safety, responsibility. And when we have those things mixed into being a licensed carrier, then we're responsible enough to be able to carry a firearm. I teach people the way of the lion is that if you walk with and you present yourself as a lion, the zebras on the plane know you a lion, and they're not gonna mess with you. Okay, they know you a lion. I always tell people there's 3 types of people. You have sheep, you have sheepdogs, and you have the wolves. Now the sheep, they always got their heads down grazing. You see these people walking around and they doing stuff on their phone. They're not paying attention to their surroundings. Those are the sheep. The wolves are the ones that are watching the sheep. They're the ones that are attacking the sheep. They're the ones that are trafficking the sheep. Now the sheepdogs, we the ones that are paying attention. We the ones that are paying attention for the sheep. Because see, the sheep don't think it's necessary to lift their head up and look and see where the predators are at. They don't think it's necessary. But we hear about it every day on the news. So that was my day. And I'm telling you, it was, I have never experienced I would probably say in my 30 years of carrying a firearm, I have never ever had an interaction with a human being like that. It was, to me, I'm the one with the CCW and she scared me. Okay? I'm the one with the CCW and she scared me. I had to walk away. I put my hands up in the air because I was like, oh my God. And then I had to check and double check and make sure she wasn't following me. Okay? Because I don't know what she was capable of, but it was very interesting. I also want to give a shout out to, God, I can't remember the nail salon, but I was able to drop off some of my brochures at this nail salon, and the Asian ladies, they were just absolutely beautiful in there. I mean, we talked for about 20 minutes and they just, even though we could barely understand each other, they kept me laughing about the stuff that they were talking about. And they were like, oh yeah, we want to come to your class, but we want 50% off. I was like, no, I can't do 50%. I said, nah. She's like, well, if I get a gun, can I shoot my boyfriend? I said, hell no. I said, no, you can't come to my class. But, she was joking. You know what I'm saying? And I do appreciate them letting me leave my flyers in there. There are a lot of barbershops and a lot of dojos that have let me leave my QR code at their shop to help me with, just gain traction on my customers. But I want you guys to know that I want you guys to stay safe. If you have any questions about my website or how to navigate it, please feel free to pick up the phone and call me. If I'm in a class, I'll put you on speakerphone because I want to answer your questions to make sure you get the right information, okay? So I'm going to say goodbye because I'm getting ready to go and try to find me some dinner. You guys stay safe out there. And like I said, pay attention to your surroundings, okay? Get off your phone. Pay attention to things that are on your windshield. Don't touch them. If you see something out of place, go back in the store. Be careful, okay? be careful. And if you see me out there in the world, hey man, just throw up a peace sign and say, hey, I know you. I seen you on Facebook, or I seen you on Instagram. Hey, throw the peace sign up. I love you. I love all you guys. And the guys that have taken my course, if you guys could do me a solid favor, and everybody that's getting ready to take any of my courses, if you could go on Google and leave a review. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put Google on my dot. If you guys could go in there and just leave me a review, it will help me out gratefully. I'm grateful that, you know, if you go on there, I want you to be honest. You know what I'm saying? If I got a 2-star course, say it's 2 stars. Do what you got to do. Because guess what? You guys are what make me do a better job at what I do. Because if I don't get feedback from what you guys learned or gained in the class, then I'm not doing my job. I need honest reviews. I need people out there saying, hey, this guy's a good instructor, or this guy's a bad instructor, or whatever. Like I said, I'm not in this for the money. I'm doing it for the love. I love what I do. And I love helping people make themselves safe and making their homes safe. All right. I'm trying to remember. Never mind. It don't matter. But like I said, if you see me on Instagram or Facebook, follow me. I would appreciate it. And I'll follow you back. And we can have fun together. All right. You guys take it easy. I love you guys. Be safe out there. And don't be afraid to communicate to people. They still out there. There's still good people out there. There's still people out there that'll smile at you. There's still people out there that'll give you that time. I found that out today. I found that out every day that I'm out here on hitting the pavement. Okay? I've got more people that accept what I have to say than I do that don't. And that's always the plus. I had one that took it left, but hey, guess what? I had 50 that gave me an opportunity to sell my goods. Okay? And don't forget, we sell farm fresh eggs too. Call me, get you some of these farm fresh eggs without them additives and them the stuff that the farmers put in eggs. All my eggs are range free. All right? So hit me up, guys. All right, love you.